everybody, Video Wolf here, and I'm here to bring you another episode of The First Time. Today we're going to talk about the first time I ever played a Nintendo system. Now this was in 1989, and I was 6 years old. I remember that my parents got me a original Nintendo with the Zapper and Duck Hunt and World Class Meat with the little pad. You know, you never run on the pad, you just hit it with your hands. But what I remember the most was the very first time my dad and I set the system up. Now, before that system came out, we were used to this in television. This is what my dad and I played. In fact, this is the same one from back then. This is my dad's system, and every now and then he and I like to plug it into the TV and play Asteroids or B-17 Bomber or anything like that. But this was my first system right here. This glorious ancient console. I don't know if you could call it, I guess you could call it a console. It's weird calling that a console, isn't it? You never think of it. Anyways, so got a brand spanking new Nintendo system, and we hook it up to the TV. And the thing you need to know about me and my dad, or my dad and I, is the fact that we do not read instruction manuals. When we get a new toy, a new electronic, we just poke around with it, go through the menus and try to figure things out ourselves. So when we hooked up the Nintendo, we didn't realize several things. Number one, we didn't realize that two controllers can be used at the same time. Now, as you can see on this, you have two controllers. There's one, and here's the other. And the difference between this and the Nintendo was these were hardwired into the system, as you can see. You can't disconnect them. So when you have the Nintendo, you have to plug in both controllers. And for some reason, we had some kind of brain fart going on that we didn't realize you had to plug in both controllers. We thought you could just switch off with the first player controller. So when we were playing the game, he and I wanted to play together, so we kept pushing player 2. And every time Luigi popped up when I died, my dad would be playing the first player's controller, and we did not understand for the life of us why it would not work. And my mom's sitting in the back in our armchair, and she's just laughing at us because he and I cannot fit. We're resetting the system, doing this over and over. It had to have gone on for at least a good, including playtime, at least 20 minutes. Until finally she read the instruction manual, and we learned that you had to have both controllers plugged in, and you can't just swap it out with the first player, which is actually something that's common today, but back then, for some odd reason, he and I just didn't have it click. Talk about being noobs, right? Well, the second funny story about this was, now my mom read the instruction manual, and she told me that Mario can swim. And, alright, no big deal, right? Mario can swim, you find water, you jump in the water, you can swim around. That's pretty cool. Well, in level 2-1 or 2-2, I believe, there is a bridge, and you go up the little bridge, and there's a big pit of water, okay? Me, understanding that Mario can swim, kept jumping into the water, and I died. It was a cliff. It was a death trap. So the level starts over. I go to the bridge, and I jump into the pool of water again. And then I die. I go back to the bridge, and I'm reading the instructions, and it says, push A to swim. So I'm thinking, aha! I'm jumping into the water, but I'm not pushing A to swim. So I must be pushing it fast enough, right? No. I go to the bridge. I jump off. The moment Mario hits the water, I'm tapping the button as quickly as I can, and I die. I do not realize for the life of me why Mario cannot swim in this little pool of water. It wasn't until I was older and I got further in the game that I realized there are levels where Mario is underwater, and that is the swimming that the instruction manual was talking about. Yeah. So, as you can see, even though today, you know, these things are no-brainers. You know, you just plug and play. Everyone knows how to make it work right away. For my very first time with the Nintendo system, it was actually quite an embarrassment, especially considering how much of a Nintendo fan I am today. I mean, of course, you got these 6-year-olds who are fluent with iPads or tablets and modern consoles, and I couldn't figure out how to make a Nintendo work back in 1989. Yeah. So there you have it. There was my very first time with a Nintendo system. I know it's kind of embarrassing, but you know what? I hope you had a good laugh, because thinking back on it, I sure as hell did also. Thank you very much, and this has been another episode of My First Time.